Mr. 7 on the jacket, sharp tongue, I digress. My mic is muted in the system, still they feel me through the stress. Never turn my back on family, on the ones that held me close. I was standing in the crossfire. Turn that pressure into growth. You can change the way you move. I won't bend to every trend. Took a hit, kept on pushing, wiped the blood, grabbed the pen. Mr. 7 still here. Still here, still here, yeah. I took a hit, kept on pushing, made the doubt disappear. Never turn my back on those I love, that's etched in my skin. You could change, but I won't, I don't fold, I dig in. Mr. 7 still here. Still here, still here. Hey. Even when my mic is muted, they gon' hear me in the air.
I'm a fallen angel from sky. Up above, I'm that man that think is a thug. I'm your drug and your plug. Wings tucked, I seen pain, seen blessings, seen luck. Ran over by train, that's about 8 trucks. Made it really gritty, but never I'm no slut to the money and fame. You can keep your chain, we free men over here. And in case you didn't know, my favorite color is here. Yes, I'm here, not fresh to death, no stress, no worries. All burdens, I done buried, closed coffin. I'm the beauty of the beast, and a man I found often. I'm the cure to infection, my reflection is broken down in sections. Retired chef outside, still cooking. I be rocking with best, thank you, good looking. Y'all bammas be lunching on mothers. If you not from my section, then you cool, but not a brother. Lone Star, the astronaut from above. You looking for a fix, I'm your brand new blood. Shotgun slug, flood of the love spreads. Truck by train, made it out by thread. Shoulda be dead, but rose from darkness and walking with an oath. I'm not the goat, I'm shepherd. Blending into the world tree, hiding a leaper. Mr. 7, I'm ghost in flesh.
Mic check. 1 second. Mic check 1, 2. All right. Respect. Welcome back. So for this one, this is like kind of a, believe it or not, it's a request. So I said I'll go ahead and I'll give my best take on it as possible. All right. And shout out to you. Thank you for the request. It's an anonymous. Let's go ahead and get to it. So first and foremost, how are you doing? Like, really, how are you? How's your headspace? And how's the day been treating you? Respect. I would say for myself, pretty lazy. I've been doing a lot of work throughout the week, so I really, for the most part, kind of had a lazy day. Didn't really do too much. So let's go ahead and get to it. What we're talking about right here is a topic called Why Y'all So Mad? But what I'm speaking about specifically is forgiving. Now, I did a short not too long ago on the importance of forgiveness. You know, how they say forgive your parents if they did do you wrong. You got to forgive others. Most importantly, you got to forgive yourself. You see what I'm saying? I did a whole short on that, right? So someone hit me up and it was like, I need for you to talk about that a little bit more. I'm going through an issue where I'm having a hard time forgiving. All right, so let's see if we can help the heart of just a little bit, right? First question is, what are the biggest barriers that stop people from forgiving others? What are those barriers? I would say the barrier, honestly, truly would be the things that we are not capable of healing from. If you continuously have to cope from a traumatic circumstance, then there are just some people that are not worth the forgiving. They're not qualified. They're not worthy of the forgiveness. If every single time you hear their voice, see their face, or anything that even begins to remind you of that individual or those individuals, you will not forgive. And you don't have to. It is your total right not to forgive. No one says you have to. Is it the best thing for you to do? We'll talk about that a little bit later. But do you have to do it? No, you don't have to forgive anybody. You could stay mad until the day you pass away. You could take it to the grave with you. Right? So I would say when it comes to the barriers, that's primarily how I see that, right? Number two, how does holding on to anger and resentment impact your emotional well-being and mental health? Now, I'll speak for myself on that one, right? I'll speak for myself. You know, I tried the whole I'm never going to speak to you again, not saying nothing, F you and everything else. I never wished anything bad on anyone. I'm done with you, right? What I found is that when I'm able to actually hold on to anger and resentment, I don't get rest. My soul is disturbed. My spirit is all rocky. It's not a smooth surface how it normally is, right? Because I'm sitting up here trying to hold on to something that I shouldn't be. So again, when it comes to forgiving others, that's not for them. That's for you. That is the one time out of any time on planet Earth, you should be the most selfish. You absolutely should be the most selfish during that time. When it comes to forgiving, right? Shout out to anybody who's coming into the building. Respect to you. So again, the question reads, how does holding on to anger and resentment impact your emotional well-being? Well, simple. It's real simple. You don't get rest, you don't get peace. Do you know how many different factors that can enter into your life at any moment and remind you of that person or that instant that took place? So the best thing for your own personal peace of mind, your own personal just humbleness of your spirit, the forgiving is something that you really should do. But like I said, that's a rocky road because depending on what happened, that might be something you will never be able to forgive. It might be something that's unforgivable. There is such a thing. There is such thing as things that you can do to impact somebody to the point where it's unforgivable. We can't unsee, we can't unhear anything that takes place. You smell me now? Respect to the family. Respect to the family. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the next one right here. And this one right here, I really, really like. Does forgiving someone free up? Hold on. Does forgiving someone free you or them of the burden? Does forgiving someone free you or free them? Well, I just gave you the answer. It's selfish. It's not about whether or not, it frees that person. That's not what it's about. Listen, holding on to all that anger has nothing to do with you and it has nothing to do with the person who you forgive. You forgive because you want your own inner peace. That's why you forgive. It's supposed to be selfish. It should have nothing to do with that other individual. That's how that usually should work out. Now, there are circumstances, and depending on what's going on. Now, again, see, this is why I say it's very subjective, because if both parties have an equal play, then you will feel some form of like, okay, I forgive you because I want you to forgive me, right? But we're talking about when somebody does you wrong completely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Let's move on to the next one. What role does empathy play in being able to forgive? What role does empathy play in being able to forgive? Well, first and foremost, we need to know the definition of that word, which is something I know most people aren't that good at nowadays because we just like to throw words around. So you have sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is when you're able to at least envision how bad it could have been. Your empathy is the simple fact that you've actually been through it. I can empathize because I've been through an actual car accident myself, so on and so forth. So, again, what role does empathy play in being able to forgive? Huge. If I went through what you went through, if there is a great victim speaking to another great victim, of course they can empathize, right? But we're talking about forgiving. Now, this is the kicker. For me, it's difficult to try to forgive somebody and give them the excuse that you were able to just do something. And like just because I did wrong, I'm supposed to excuse your wrongdoing. Nah, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Okay. Shout out to the people in the building. I see Vaughn. I see a couple of y'all in here. Much respect. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I know. So that's primarily what we're talking about. So just a quick recap for those just coming into the building, right? What are the biggest barriers that stop people from forgiving? How does holding on to anger and resentment impact your emotional and well-being? Does forgiving someone free you or them? Right? So that's where I am at this point. So boom. Okay. I still say it frees me. Whenever I'm able to forgive you, I'm freed up from the burden of having this chip on my shoulder. I don't have to see. The thing is, I value my peace way too much. I value my peace so much that I'm willing to forgive you, even though I know. Now, mind you, right? People think that forgiving means to also befriend. You don't have to, I don't have to befriend you just because I forgave you. That's not necessary. I don't need to do that. I can just forgive you and step off and move on. But in order for me to move on, in order for me not to take out on somebody else who has nothing to do with what you did to me, I need to forgive you. So when I come across somebody else, I'm not bringing that burden down on them. Peep game. Let's tap in, right? So when it comes to the empathy part, my empathy is specifically based upon I know what it's like to have a chip on your shoulder. Again, we went right back to being selfish because we're talking about forgiving. When you're talking about forgiving, it has to be selfish. You got to think about yourself. You got to think about just, nah, Nick, this is for me when you forgive. Let's go ahead and move it along. Much respect to the family. I appreciate any and everybody who might be tuning in. This is more so about the replay, more so than the live itself, and that's something I've recognized. It's all about that replay, man. It's all about that replay. I just want to make sure. Let me see. Let me go ahead and read this right here. All right. So we got a very very wisdomatic brother right here. Okay. So he says, "I'm sorry meant to say forgiveness is not necessary." Condoning the behavior of an individual. Give me a little bit more on that, brother Vaughn. I know people don't come up on my panel, so if you don't mind just at least typing it in and let me know, I would appreciate it. I will pull you up if you had the time. But just give me a little bit more to that. Let me see. Let me read it again. I'm sorry meant to say Forgiveness is not necessarily condoning the behavior. I mean, I get you on that. I get you. So just because that you say that you do forgive them, that don't mean that you accept what it is that they've done. Absolutely. Absolutely. My brother, my brother. All right, now. So number 5 says, how can forgiving others allow you to grow and find peace within yourself? How can forgiving others allow you to grow and find peace within yourself? Well, what I've learned is that exactly what it is I just said. Forgiving you was all about my own personal inner peace. I had an instant one time, right? Quick story time. I had an instant where I was done wrong. I had what I would call a very good friend of mine, not even associate, a good friend of mine did me dirty. When I tell you that I was heated beyond heated, I was extremely angry. I was. But you know what it did? It just soured everything else that was going on in my life. That one spoiled apple of a thought was spoiling the entire bunch of all of my thoughts. Do you get it? I had one rotten apple of a thought, and that one rotten apple of a thought is what brought me to now I'm not even paying attention. I'm not even thinking. My mind is distorted. And what I find to be the most detrimental is when you take it out on other people. See, that's the thing about it. It's it's not about that one person that did you wrong. It's about how are you going to interact with any and everybody else that you come across after that circumstance. But you know something? There's also this side that says the person who was done wrong, and if they never able to forgive, are they wrong for never being able to forgive and trust again? That is my question to you. The person who was done wrong, if they do not forgive, how detrimental is that to them in your personal view? Right? Because the fact is this, right? You know why I forgive as much as I do? It's one basic foundation that I always stay grounded in. Life is not fair. It ain't got nothing to do with race or anything. It ain't because I'm a black man, I'm supposed to be done wrong. No, life is not fair. It's just not. So what makes you think that if nature is not fair, what makes you think people would be? When people are a creation that is incorporated into nature. Take things back to the root of it. What are, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are the key factors that you think really is incorporated with forgiving? What do you think has to happen? Now, me personally, in case you wonder, what does he mean by the key factors? Like, for example, time. I believe that time is a very much so important key factor to forgiving. A lot of people don't allow time to heal a wound. You get a cut, it's going to take what for it to heal? Time. I mean, we can stitch it. You can put band-aids on it. You can put a neosporin, peroxide, rubbing alcohol, whatever, all the good stuff we use to heal a cut that's on your arm. But the fact is that the healing process of that cut is going to have to take its own course. There's nothing you can do about it. And as a matter of fact, when we try to rush the process and try to pick at the scab, we reopen the wound. That's what I've noticed. You smell me now? I hope I'm coming through clear. I hope I'm coming through clear because sometimes my phone be acting funny. I'm gonna go ahead and get this computer set up before the weekend's over. And I'll be back over there at the studio in a minute. But for right now, we're stationary, right? Right now, we right here. So when it comes to, again, just to recap, how can forgiving others help you to grow? Is simple. If you do not forgive, you will be stagnated. You're going to be stagnated in your spirit, in your soul, in your heart. You're not going to have too much to give. All right, now let's go ahead to number 6, right? What are the main societal triggers that cause so much anger? Because again, we're talking about forgiving and being upset. I'm gonna read that again. What are the main societal triggers that cause such anger in people? You know what? I really honestly don't have that much of an answer for that one, right? But let's see if we have something a little bit better. Boom. So let me go ahead and read this right here. Respect to you, brother. So one factor I would say is yielding. You have to have a yielding heart in order to forgive. Sometimes we become hard and stubborn in our hearts because a yielded heart makes it easier. Beautifully put, my brother. Beautifully put. Okay, now. So I'm going to read this again when it comes to number 6, right? Let me read this again. What are the main societal triggers that cause so much anger? At this point, I personally believe that we are beyond triggers. We're beyond that. I believe that people are now to the point where we are just stuck in our ways. That's how I see it. It's more so of we're just like, this is how I felt all this time about it. And more than anything, I believe that society has us more so in a headspace of just move on, forget about it, don't think about it, and everything else. But then you have a whole bunch of people that's harboring and holding in so much, and it always winds up spilling out. It always winds up spilling out. You have folks that will tell you, "Oh, well, just move on." You know what the trigger is more than anything in society? Ignoring it. That's what I would like. Me personally, I would say the trigger is ignoring what really happened, not addressing the fact of whatever it is that took place in your life that got you into the headspace in which you're in. That's where I am. So again, what are the societal triggers? That could be anything. Yo, if you were abused and your abuser loved Gatorade, every time you see a Gatorade commercial, you might feel like, you're back at that moment. So, I mean, that question in itself, I'm gonna be honest with you, I believe is very, very, it's broad. It's too broad. It's wide range. Lord knows what could trigger a person. I mean, I knew somebody that what triggered them from their trauma is you closing any door in the house. All doors in the house have to stay open. I'm talking about bathroom, bedroom, everything. If it's a door besides the closet, okay? If it's a door that leads somewhere, you have to have it open. That's how that person was able to function, because closed doors was a trigger, like no more locked doors. I get it. So that's very much so something that will vary. I get that. All right. So how does consistent exposure to bad news affect our emotional well-being? Talk to me. Somebody talk to me. How does it happen? How does it work? How does consistent exposure to bad news affect our emotional well-being? How does that work? Now, what I'll tell you is this. I believe that it affects us in the sense of, like I talked about before, becoming numb, not feeling as much as you used to. And when I say feeling, I don't mean you're in your feelings, like how they try to say a little girl or something like that. Nah, you don't feel life, like literally, like you touch things and you just, I don't know, did I touch it? I know I see my hand on it, but I don't feel it. We don't feel as much as we used to. So, how does consistent exposure to bad news affect our emotional well being? Simple. Consistently hearing bad news. Like I spoke about my father when he was saying his spirit was disturbed. And I said, why? He said, because it's been a little while, but then I started watching the news again. You see where I'm at? Shout out to you. See you in the building. All right. Shout out to Kev in the building. What's going on, Kev? Thank you for stopping by, even if it's just for a second. I appreciate you. So, again, reading the question, how does consistent exposure to bad news affect our emotional well being? How can it not? How possibly can it not? If you're listening to bad news 24/7, what do you think your headspace, your feelings, your emotion, and everything else? Oh, let's go back to that word, emotion, as an emotion, energy, motion, movement, the energy that moves you. So, your emotions, the energy that's moving you into a bad, dark place, is because of what it is that you feed yourself. But the thing that I have said to myself is, are you really feeding that to yourself, or is that what's being force fed to you? Yes, 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 you have a choice. You have a choice of what to look at and things of that nature. But the fact is, somehow, some way, you know what I've peeped? They found some kind of way to incorporate this into any form of fashion that you could possibly find any form of peace. So going back on what it is we just spoke about, right? Forgiving and how tough that is for people. Like right now, like seriously, right now, whoever you are, it's somebody in your life that to this very moment you still kind of you cringe a little bit if their name or you see their face. You ever had that? You get them little goosebumps and not the good kind. Like you just kind of, you know, anything that reminds you of them, you just kind of get into a funk, even if it's just for a second, even if it's just for a quick second. Like a lot of us got that. Yo, it's somebody out there in your life who you like. I- Let somebody else have the same name as them. Let the person name be John. Anybody you come across named John can get the smoke. You smell me now? I see you, brother. All day. All day. So going back on this recap, right? What are the biggest barriers that stop people from forgiving others? You're your biggest barrier. Yourself. Because if you want peace, if you want to get a good night rest, you will make sure that that happens. But at the same time, we can't even say that that's something that's a guarantee, depending on what took place. Listen, to say forgive everybody is equivalent to saying heal from everything that's happened to you. There are some things I've said it multiple times. If you've listened to me enough, you've heard me say it. There are some things you just will not heal from. There are some things you're going to have to cope with for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, you just got to figure out how to walk anew. Wink, wink. Right? Number 2 says, how does holding on to anger and resentment impact your emotional well-being? It's real simple. Just like I said before, do you value peace? Your mental well-being has a lot to do with how much peace you have in your life. When you go around, you ever wake up swinging at the air? And I don't mean physically. I mean like with your words. You ever wake up and just cuss somebody out? And that's how you starting your day? I know I'm not the only one. You ain't never just woke up, and I'm talking about whatever it was that happened to you, you are just cussing out the world. You ain't never seen that before? I know you have if you live long enough. You just wake up saying random stuff. You don't even be like, thank you, God, for waking me up to a new day. You just get up and be like, I told him, keep playing with me all the time. Like, I swear. No, because that ain't, and you just get to going off to yourself. Why? Because you holding on to something. When you wake up cussing out that person, they don't even know that they still sleep probably. You wake up early. They don't get up till around 10 something. You wake up around 6 in the morning. Here it is, you cussing them out before they even know. I ain't gonna lie, man. That just really had that really had me thinking about something just now, man. Oh gosh. And I'm so thankful I can smile and laugh about it now. And that's where that true release comes from, right? Every time you see who, I don't know who POTUS is. POTUS? I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it right or not. But you get where I'm coming from. I see you, big dog. I appreciate you. So that's the way I see that. So when it comes to forgiving, what is it exactly? Like, why is the reason why you forgive somebody? Tell me that. What is it? Oh, oh, okay. That's what you call. Oh, so that's what you call them. You call them POTUS. All right, but nah, really though. When it comes to forgiving, that's that's where I am. Like, see, when I pray to be able to forgive. Right? When I pray, I do. I pray to be able to forgive. I actually pray for that because if I'm not able to, I hold on to things. And because I'm not good at holding on to grudges, like I'm horrible at that. Like, oh my gosh, never give me a grudge to hold. I'm gonna drop it every time. I'm gonna drop it every time because of where my heart is naturally. I'm just not one of those people who holds on to things. I know how to wake up the next day and be like, yo, that was Monday. Today's Wednesday. Let's just let's just deal with Wednesday. You know? Is this a live that's about anybody or anything in particular? No. Just I had a request to go ahead and speak about what it's like to forgive. And I am going to say this, and this is the advice that I'm giving. Everybody's not worth your forgiveness. You know, just like how they say, don't cast your pearls to swine, as in not everybody, aka not everybody's worthy of your knowledge and wisdom. Don't cast your pearl to swine, right? Same thing with forgiving. I won't be honest with you. When I say that I forgive so I can get some rest, what I'm saying is that I've put what it is aside in my mind, what took place, but I'll never forget. And that's why we have to be very, very careful about the impressions that we make on people. You have no idea how powerful your interaction with somebody can be. You literally can be the catalyst. You literally can be that one individual that totally turned that person away from everybody in society. Or you can be that one person that reminds them there's still love and righteousness out here. That's how powerful it is. That's why somewhere it's written in the book that I subscribe to, it says that if you kill one man, you delete one man, it's like you deleted the whole world. When you help and save one man, it's like you helped and saved the entire world. Because your impact, when we encounter each other, that's very important. See, that's why I don't just be like snapping, going off on people for no reason and everything else. That's not something I do. You see? I make sure that however it is that I deliver my information when it comes to forgiving, you always have to make sure that you know that that's not something that's going to be for every circumstance. Right? Let me see what you say right here, brother. I got you. Okay, excellent topic. Perspective is definitely appreciated in this space. Just wanted to pass. Hey, no, I appreciate you on that. And you know something, just passing through real quick. Honestly, that's all Smitty asks for. I don't ask y'all for nothing. I don't ask for nothing but just a quick listening ear if you're able to lend it for a moment. That's all. Can I just borrow your ears real quick? I know I got my own too, but I still want to borrow yours just for a moment, right? But I'm able to smile because I don't hold things in my chest. I'm able to actually still say respect to you, beloved. Respect to you, Black man. Because I don't hold grudges. To hold that grudge is to hold yourself back. Point blank, period. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Respect to the family.
I'm super fresh, feeling in my humble abode. I'm so fly, I'm so high. I've been all around the past. Modern J one time, I feel good, I'm so amped. I walk for days just to the top. Yes, I'm the cream of the crop from that classy. Gentleman champagne sipping in my left hand. My life is humble as I watch the cookie crumble. Years I stumble, but I'm still moving, still grooving. Sharp shooter with a hard promo. Pen not too good at this rest of song. Like piss, watch flex my muscle and watch me prop my shit. Super flash, feeling divine.